We now call on Mrs. Gilead.
Please sit. It's my pleasure to introduce the speaker for this afternoon, Dr. Linda Lovell Roberts, who will be presenting on the topic healthy living among preteens and teenagers. Dr. Linda Lovell Roberts is a pediatrician by profession, and she has been in the practice for the last 32 years. Actually, she was my son's first pediatrician. She's a faithful member of the cathedral, and she has 2 children and 2 grandchildren, and I can say also that the grandchildren are also very active in the church. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce this great Anglican to speak to you this afternoon on healthy living among teens and preteens.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here with a wonderful spirit. Congratulations. Just wonderful. Well, I have some aids. Before my aids come up, okay. I'd just like to find out how many of you are in secondary school. All right. How many of you are in primary school? Okay, 50-50. And the rest are in tertiary school? Yes. So I've entitled my talk, Pathways to Health. You know, how do we get to a healthy life, live a long life, seeing, hearing, etc., until we are well into our 70s and 80s, right? I am going to speak to you about virtue, that's being a good person, the things that make a virtuous life, and I'm going to speak to you about sins, which you're all trying to avoid, right? But the thing is, if there were no sin, everybody would be healthy, right? Ill health comes from sin, right? So, yes, virtue. First of all, the virtue of humility, not being too full of oneself. Nowadays everybody's around doing selfies and so on. Thinking about yourself, showing off yourself. Not a particularly good move, right? So the fewer selfies, the better. Don't think about yourself so much. And when you succeed, remember that the success comes from divine providence. Whatever you have, whatever you can do, it's through divine providence. God has made it possible, right? The virtue of charity, kindness, love, all right? Be kind to as far as you can be loving and kind. Gratitude. Be grateful to God and be grateful to those who provide you with your sustenance. Temperance. Temperance means self-control. This is very important when it comes to health too, right? Don't eat your belly full. Not a good idea, right? Control how much you eat, how much you drink, how much you indulge in pleasures. Don't be the last one to leave the party. Don't be the craziest one doing the craziest dances, right? Temperance, control yourself, right? Patience, being able to wait for things that you want, being able to save. This is very, very important, because when you save for things, you avoid debt, right? Now, debt is a major cause of stress and high blood pressure. So, anything that you want, the best way to get it is to save for it, have patience, save, wait, and it will pay off in peace of mind and less blood pressure, right? Diligence, having the discipline to work at something. In life, nothing descends on you. You have to work. You have to work at your schoolwork. You have to work at sports. So diligence is very important, and diligent people are usually successful, and success breeds peace of mind and no blood pressure. Oh, the sins now, pride, self-evident. Don't be full of yourself and feel that you're the greatest, right? Greed, the love of things, stress, not good. Envy, don't look at what other people have, and what other marks, to be practical, what marks other people get. No, I think in the school system, this is something that ought to change, right? How many of you go to schools where they say who come first, second, third, fourth, and so, right? We're in primary school. No, well, that's a traditional way, but sometimes people get too carried away, right? It is better if the children just concentrate on what they can do and they compete with themselves and not compete with other people. So if you had that kind of tendency to see what other people got, get out of that tendency. Just compete with yourself and you try to improve your marks, right? Try and get, it's not about what other people, it's about you. Gluttony, that's self-evident. I spoke about belly full already. Don't eat your belly full. Don't drink don't drink a whole glass of soda, 8 ounces of soda and so on. And don't get pleasure from eating, drinking, and taking other substances. I'm sure none of you drink alcohol. None of you get high on anything, right? I'm sure good Anglicans and good people, you all don't smoke anything or eat anything that you can get high on, right? I'm sure, right? Anger, self-evident. When you lose control of yourself in anger, that's high blood pressure, that's stress, it damages your body, right? Sloth, laziness, inactivity. You don't get anywhere by lying around. You don't progress in life, and you don't, you become fat and, with a big stomach, etc. And that leads to poor health, right? So, how do we maintain a healthy body? No, the first thing, well, food. Your food is very important, right? So, we're going to talk a little about the constituents of food, right? Now, I'm sure you all know about the food groups, right? You know about the different food groups? Like, tell me a type of food. Tell me and I'll tell them. Protein, right. Protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, all right. Now, so there are different food groups, but even though something is a protein food, right, it would have in other things, right? So that's why I said constituents. So, they're protein foods. So, give me an example of a protein food. Yeah. Give me an example of a protein food. Chicken, right? Okay. You all knew that, right? Carbohydrates. An example of a carbohydrate. Right. All right. So carbohydrates can be sugars or starches, right? You know, sugar that we buy by the pound and put in our drink and so on, right? That's called a simple sugar. And then there's starch, which is a complex sugar, right? And we need complex sugars. But actually, simple sugars are not necessary in our diet. And like 100, 200 years ago, nobody used simple sugar, right? They just didn't have it. And simple sugars, it's one of the major causes of our problems, of obesity, right? Which leads to all the other problems, right? Fat. Give me an example of a fat. Right, and nuts. Well, nuts are generally very fatty, right? Okay. Now, all foods have salt, different, when I talk about salt, you all will probably think about the salt that you put on your food, right? That's sodium chloride, right? Now, there are other minerals. Sodium is a mineral. There are other minerals in the food, like potassium, magnesium, iron, just to name a few of the common ones, right? And they're very important. Fiber, which is roughage in plants, that's important to make your bowels move, and fiber is what we mainly excrete, right? And water. Water is very important. We are 65% water, all of us. We are mainly water. And water is important for all the cells to function, including our brain, right? And the brain is the master organ of the body, so very important. Right? Okay, so some examples of foods, right? So fish is mainly protein, but it has fat too. It has very important fats, which they're unsaturated fats, which are necessary for the function of the brain and the fats that you really need, as opposed to saturated fats. Okay? Sweet potato, another food, is mainly carbohydrate and it has fiber. And like all foods, it has vitamins and minerals too. Right? Coconut has carbohydrates and it has fat. Milk, a very important nutrient, is mainly water, but it has fat, protein, and minerals. And we all know milk is the food that babies live on for the first 6 months of life. So it's very important. It is very important for you all as well. So, some lifestyle diseases. Now, obesity, overweight. Now, there's a scientific definition of obesity, which is that it's your weight in kilograms compared to your height. And once that's over a certain amount, you're termed to be obese. Now, a myriad of problems come from obesity, right? Including hypertension, diabetes, cancer. If you're obese, you have a higher chance of having cancer, right? If there was no obese people, the hospital would be empty. Well, 90% of the people would not be in hospital, right? Right. And as well as obesity, you can have hypertension just from poor lifestyle, right? Hypertension. Well, what do you think give people, you know what I mean, right? Hypertension is blood pressure. Everybody has somebody with pressure, right? Too excessive salt. Excessive salt, right? Too much salt. Now, salt is necessary. You must have salt in your diet, especially in a hot country where people sweat and so on. And when we were mostly cane cutters, they had to take in salt because they sweat a lot and they needed salt, right? If you don't take in sufficient salt, you can get cramps and problems with your heart and so on, right? And let me just say, for those of you who do sports, no, you may have heard that sometimes water, you shouldn't drink too much water, right? But that is if you play a lot of sports, you sweat a lot, and you lose sodium, you lose salt. Then if you drink water, plain water, and you don't replace the salt, you just replace the water, you can actually get into severe problems, right? So that is why you might notice they have some sports drinks and so on, which have salt, right? So something to remember, because some of you may have heard that, right? Diabetes, what's another name for diabetes? Sugar. You knew that, right? You knew another name for diabetes is sugar? Okay, right. No, diabetes occurs largely because of obesity in middle-aged people. There are two types of diabetes actually. One due to obesity, and one basically because of the genetic makeup of the person, they don't produce enough insulin, right? So it's not the person's fault really, but they just don't produce enough insulin, right? So if you have hypertension, diabetes and so on, you can have heart disease. If you don't eat properly, you get high cholesterol with hardening of the arteries. If you take in too much salt, you have high blood pressure, you can get a stroke. And if you're overweight, the weight is too much for your ankles and your knees and your hips to carry around, and that's a contributor to arthritis, right? You hardly ever see a slim person with arthritis. So, some do's and don'ts of healthy eating. Now, eat according to schedule, right? You know what I mean when I say eat according to schedule? All right. Your meal should be the same time every day, right? You should have a set program that you eat. So you're unlikely to eat too much or too little, or to eat things that you shouldn't eat, because everything is prepared and scheduled, right? You're likely to snack less. And very important too, do not eat between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. The human body was meant to fast, right? And especially as we get older, when we eat between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., we just automatically put on weight, right? So, I guess the human body was meant to fast at night. Okay, so that's important to do. Eat a balanced diet, protein, starches, fruit and vegetables every day, right? Now, teenagers and children need 2 cups of milk every day. If you don't drink milk, you can eat cheese, yogurt, or take a lot of butter, the equivalent of 2 cups of milk, right? Because it has calcium and it has fat, which you need. Your bones are growing and you need calcium. That's the main thing that's in milk, right? Now, eat natural food, eat real food. All these things, you know, that you can just go and pop in the microwave, not good, not good, not good, right? Real food, as far as possible, that you cook, right? Because when you cook, you know you're getting vitamins, right? When you have this synthetic food, it doesn't have any vitamins, it just has chemicals in it, right? So as far as possible, stay away from those things. If you have to get up in the morning and help your mommy cook, well, get up early, so you cook food every day, well, try and do that, right? Stop, don't, try to stop buying convenience food, right? Do drink water only on a daily basis. For good health, the only drink you should drink, apart from milk, is water. You shouldn't drink soda or any other kind of drink. Juice is not a necessary ingredient in the diet, right? Fruit is necessary, but juice is not necessary, right? So drinking, even though, well, juice is a good thing in a way, but drinking juice twice and 3 times a day and 4 times a day, no, right? Once a day, the most, right? How many of you drink soda or sweet drink? Everybody drinks soda. Oh. Who does not drink soda? So, no.
When you was little.
Okay, well, okay, good. But this, what's your name? Eva? Eva. Right. So Eva asked me if I used to drink soda when I was little, right? Well, when I was little, we drank soda once a week. After Sunday school, we would come home, and we in those days, nobody here knows about Bryson's soda. Anybody here know about Bryson's? Okay. Bryson's sweet drink we used to call it, right? And it was about a 10-ounce bottle, right? And we divided into half to 2, right? So 2 of us would share the soda. That's about 5 ounces of soda, right? That we would get once a week. Now, the bottles are big. It's like 8 ounces, 10 ounces, 12 ounces of soda one time. Not good, not good. So, one of the things you're going to do as a result of my coming here is you're going to drink less soda, okay? Everybody going to drink less soda. Okay. Okay. And I had up there. So, sweet things like cake and cookies and all those things, just the special occasion, right? And on Sunday. Sunday is a special occasion, right? Okay, right. Right. So, another don't eat artificial refined food stuff. Like all the, you know, those biscuits and cheese and all sorts of stuff. And anything that comes in a package that you have to open, try not to eat it. Try not to eat it. It's not good. It's not good, right? It's only, right. Well, you see, you can eat bread, bun, and so on, as opposed to those things that are highly salty, right? You can eat bun, yeah. But, yes, but I'm just telling you, it's not good, right? So try to get yourself off of it, right? And don't use artificially sweetened and salty food, right? So you remember this, right? Although anything that comes in a package that you use for snacks is not good. So try to get yourself off of them if you are on them, and don't use them if you're not on them, right? Children can get, you know, bread and a sandwich for school, food for school. That can be the food they use at school, right? But see, if everybody did it, the children would have a problem. But the children get the taste for salty snacks. When other children have them, they want them. All right. So, We've spoken about nutrition for your body. Now we're going to speak about physical activity. You've got to move, right? Now, everybody should, as far as possible, try and play some game every day. You know, it's simple. You all play rounders. You all ever heard of rounders? Yeah. Who heard of rounders? Okay, good. All you all play rounders. Who takes part in any sport? Right. Okay. What sport you take part in? Netball. Okay. So everybody should take part in some kind of sport, right? Who here can swim? Who can swim? Wonderful. But, right, okay. So, very important. Now, you can okay, you can take down your hand. You can combine planting some food with some activity. You know, gardening. Gardening uses up a lot of calories and a lot of activity, right? No, housework. Housework is a good way to burn off calories, to use up activities. You do any housework, Aoife? You do any housework? Okay. So things like mopping, scrubbing, vigorous sweeping, all use up a lot of housework. So you can't tell your mother, I have to go and exercise, I have to go and walk. So I can't help with the housework, right? So use up some energy doing housework, okay? Right. Okay. A healthy mind, right? No, we're going to, for a happy person has a healthy mind. So we're going to talk about the factors. We're going to talk about the factors that make you happy, that give happiness, right? Well, we all Anglicans, we all Christians, we have faith, right? And the fruit of having faith is love, joy, patience. So we practice those things, right? If you follow rules and you are obedient, things will go right. You won't have any stress, and you won't have feelings of sadness, and you will be a happy person is a healthy person. No stress, right? And very important, find an activity that you like and become very good at it. You know, get your feeling of self-esteem from an activity that you do. You wanted to say something? Yeah, man, say something. Okay. Okay, you can tell me after, right? How many of you have singing at school? Yeah, like at school. Do you ever sing at school? Just at church? So at school there's no singing at all? In assembly? Okay, all right. Okay, great. How many of you play a musical instrument? Wonderful. Drums? No. One of the ways that you can, one of the things that can put you in a good mood, right? Is if you sing in a choir or you play an instrument. Well, I don't know if you all have experienced it yet, but I tell you, anybody, if you sing in a choir or you play an instrument with people and you make music together, it makes you feel good at the end of it. Trust me. I believe, and anybody plays in steel band? People playing steel band get that. Because that is why they stay hours and hours and play. They get a natural high and they feel good. Right? Okay. Okay, good, good, good. The other thing that is, I would say to you, to keep your moods up or to prevent problems, to prevent sadness, speak to a parent or other family member if something is troubling you. Have somebody that you can speak to. Right? Okay. Know your diet can have an effect on your mood as well. If you eat properly with fruits and vegetables, nuts and beans, they contain high amounts of the B vitamin, which are good for brain function, which help to regulate your mood, right? So eating a balanced diet has an effect on your mood, right? Exercise affects your mood. You all ever ran down a hill? You run on a steep hill and you feel as though you're going, anybody ever had that? Didn't it make you feel good? Right? Right. So exercise can give you a natural high. You feel good, right? You feel good. So all the more reason why you should exercise vigorously and on a regular basis, right? And do not drink alcohol, smoke, or take cannabis, right? That will mess up your mind. Anybody ever took Red Bull? Anybody here? You all know what Red Bull is? What? Well, don't take Red Bull. No. Do you know what's in Red Bull? Why do you take Red Bull? It has in caffeine, right? No, coffee is not good. Only adults should take coffee, right? No, caffeine is a stimulant. Makes your heart beat fast. You ever felt your heart beat fast? Yes. And it can actually, people die from taking Red Bull, right? Because people, if you take too much of it, it can make your heart beat irregularly. And there are people who are born with heart problems. We call them, the heart rhythm is not good. And they take Red Bull, and they take too much, and they die, right? Yeah? Yeah. So, do not take Red Bull. So, which steps on the pathway are you going to take? I came here, each of you is going to make some kind of change as a result of my talk in here today, right? So, for example, to eat more natural food, plant something, right? No, pawpaw grows very easily in Antigua, right? So next time you eat pawpaw, throw the seeds down. Lo and behold, you have a pawpaw tree, right? And you get some pawpaw, vitamin A, right? Very important. A source of natural food. So plant something, okay? For example. Okay. If you are active already, play some more sports, okay? And the next one, right? Less phone time. How many of you have phones? Okay, well, I'm glad it's less than half, right? Because, okay, all right. Because actually, I was going to do a slide. Smartphones are poison, right? If I had my way, right? Nobody, I'm a professional adult. if I had my way, nobody 16 and younger would have a phone, right? Well, I am not a child. No, the reason I say this, right, is that like TV, right, phones, actually make you, I don't, make you dunce, right? Yes, 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 yes. Because when you watch things on a phone, right, you, or you just looking up something, that's not how you really learn. You only learn from observing your environment, being taught in school. That's how you really learn. Just looking up things is not really teaching you anything. And they're teaching you things an American way. They're not teaching you the real truth of life and the Caribbean truth, right? So phones don't teach you anything. And most of you, I'm sure, are not looking up things. You're playing games and talking with your friends, social interaction, right? So take it from me. Phones and TV make it done. You can teach a chimpanzee to use a phone, you know, right? You can teach a chimpanzee to use a phone and play games on a TV. You can teach a chimpanzee, right? Okay. So remember that about phones, right? No. Also, apart from making it done, you're not moving around. You're there for hours on your phone, keeping quiet. So you're not moving around. So it's not good. As a matter of fact, right, in some countries, in Australia, they made a law that children 16 and under are not supposed to be on social media. They put that in law, right? In some countries in Europe, the parents get together, the parents in the town get together and say, we're not giving our children any phones, right? And they meet with the townspeople and they have certain shops that if the child is in need, the child can use the phone and contact the parents. There are schools in England that they cannot use phones on the compound. Nobody can use a phone. A parent cannot use the phone on the compound, right? So that's another thing you're going to remember today, right? Phone, the less phone, the better, right? Remember that. 20 years from now, you're going to remember, right? That I said that. Okay. So, okay, finish with phones now. Another thing to make you, help you in life and help those around you. Less stress and to show you kindness and so on is do a good turn every day. Help your neighbor, your mother, somebody. Do something for somebody. Be kind every day, right? Okay. So, if we remember and practice the heavenly virtues, we will live happy and healthy lives. So, I'm happy to have spoken to you, and I really want to hear some questions from you. All right? Who have some questions for me? Who have some questions for me or comments? Question or comment? No? Question or comment? Aoife, you have a question or comment?
I think that we should use our phone, like, but you have a phone.
Aoife says to me, I have a phone. Aoife, I am not a child. Very simple. How often do I use my phone? I don't know. But you ever heard the saying, don't measure my corn in your bushel? Don't compare me with you. In my no. Remember phones are bad. Congrats on being a praise leader. Anyway, right there.
Some students use their phones to get answers that's called ChatGPT. I will give their answers straight away.
So people cheat. That's cheating. That is cheating. Right? Okay. Did you all hear that? Some people use their phones to get answers. That's cheating. So it's cheating. So you go through life.
Excuse me, doctor, please. We are trying to listen. We can be quiet, please. There are questions here, so to be quiet for a moment.
Okay. Right. Oh, sorry. Don't. Okay, go ahead.
How important is it to eat breakfast in the morning?
Well, it's very important to eat breakfast. Break fast. It's breaking your fast, right? You've been fasting overnight. So your blood sugar falls, right? So your blood sugar will be low in the morning. So it's very important that you eat breakfast, you get some calories, so that you can pay attention in school. Because if your blood sugar is low, you can't pay attention, you're irritable, you can't concentrate. This lady had her hand up for a long time. Yeah. Father Jacob said
You said that phones are bad, but most likely you'd use research from online platforms and digital platforms in order to prepare the slide you have today.
My friend here said that you use your phone to get information from online platforms and digital platforms. Well, nowadays you have your phone for research. That mitigates, that takes away from it being so bad. But the thing is, most people don't use it for research. But that's good. Well, I will say that makes it less bad. I would say that makes it less bad. All right. Your question.
How do you know that you have? How do you know that you have arthritis?
Okay. How do you know if you have arthritis? Pain. Usually painful, pain on movement. But you all won't have arthritis. You all won't have degenerative arthritis.
Where would you naturally feel the pain if you have arthritis?
Well, arthritis is inflammation in the joints, right? So, like your knee joint, ankle joint, those are the places that it happens in the knees. Right.
If you don't eat breakfast, what will happen?
Well, you will feel faint because your blood sugar will be low, so you can actually faint away, right? You'll be irritable and you won't learn well at school if you don't eat breakfast because your blood sugar will be low.
Okay. In a Caribbean setting, in an Antiguan setting, what is an ideal breakfast?
In the Caribbean setting, I didn't. What's the ideal breakfast? All right. That's a good question, right? So you want to get in all food groups, right? So fruits, cereal. When I say cereal, I mean cooked porridge, oats, cream of wheat. Oats is the best porridge, right? Stay away from things in the box, especially things that are green and blue and so on, right? Right. And some protein, like egg, sausage, or you could take cheese, or um, basically bacon, um, pancake. Well, you can, you have a protein and some bread, right? So it could be egg and bread, right? That's the ideal breakfast. That's the ideal breakfast. Food, yes, but a small amount. So the cereal that you take is a small bowl of cereal, right? Yeah, yeah, but it's a small bowl of cereal, not a big bowl, right? Yeah.
Can you eat like rice and dumpling instead of bread and tea in the morning?
Somebody wants to know if you can eat rice and dumpling. Yes, I mean, there's no problem with eating anything as long as you supply a good amount of calories. Actually, the it's recommended that breakfast be your biggest meal of the day. Actually, your breakfast is your biggest meal of the day. Um, Lunch not so big, and supper a light meal. You eat like a king at breakfast, a prince at midday, and a pauper at night. Or if you eat supper at all, right? Actually, the real health food disciples say, don't eat anything, and others don't need to eat supper, right?
Do you have any social media platforms?
I do. I am on Facebook. Um,
What's your name?
what's my name on Facebook? Oh, Linda Roberts. Yeah. And then professionally, I have a website. My practice, kidsfeelbetter.com. Right? Yeah. But I have a website, kidsfeelbetter.com. Plus, I have a Facebook page, Kids Feel Better. Right. My, you see how, you see why phones are bad? You see why phones are bad? This is not me. There's, there's somebody, there's somebody in some skimpy top here with the same name as Linda Roberts. Not me. I assure you that's not me. Well, the website gives information about children. It's nutritional, it's educational. It's educational. Right, yeah, kids feel better. Right. That's my website. Yeah. The- well, information about children. That's one of those, see, that's me with my grandson and some other children. Right. Yes. Right. um, any other questions? Linda, Lovell. No. So, what inspired me to become a pediatrician? Well, after I qualified, I was a general doctor, and then I found that I liked looking after children, and so I decided to become a pediatrician. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think. I don't think that's me. It's a common name. No. So, no more questions. You can ask me general things too, like somebody asked me what inspired me to become a doctor.
as a parent, do you think with the advent of the increased use of cell phones and our children's vision, do you think that we should increase the vitamin A intake on our children's diet? Can they have too much vitamin A in their diet?
Yes. The question is, with the advent of cell phones, should we increase the amount of vitamin A in the diet? Whether or not children use cell phones a lot, it doesn't really change the requirements for vitamin A, right? And you can have too much vitamin A, but you'd have to take a lot of vitamins for that. If you just had a normal diet, you wouldn't have excessive vitamin A. Well, doesn't look as if there are any more questions. So,
Can
no question?
can young people get arthritis?
Yes. Can young people get arthritis? And if there's a specific age? No, the arthritis I spoke about, that's degenerative osteoarthritis. That's the proper name, right? That occurs in old people and from overweight. But there's certain diseases that's my grandson on the right. That children can get, like rheumatoid arthritis. Or if you have sickle cell anemia, you may get arthritis. But those are quite rare. What is sickle cell? Anybody knows what sickle cell anemia is? All right. Well, sickle cell. No, it's not more white cells than red blood cells. Sickle cell anemia is a condition which is inherited where the red blood cells are not formed properly, right? Usually they're round, but they are not round. They break down and they're sickle shaped, like a C shape, right? And that's why it's called sickle cell anemia, right? And blood doesn't flow to the joints properly. So, we have come to the end of this session, and thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening.
Good night. We the young people would like to thank you for teaching us about having a healthy diet and how to live healthy. And once again, thank you.
My pleasure.
Mic check, 1, 2. All right, so the refreshment is not yet ready. So we're going to do an impromptu competition. So we're asking for 2 persons from each parish, just to make sure that we have all of you. St. Stephen's. Is St. Stephen's here? Let's put up your hand in St. Stephen's. St. Luke's. St. John's, St. George's, All Saints. Are we missing anybody? St. Peter's. All right, so you want 2 persons from each parish. So 2 from All Saints, 2 St. George's, 2 from St. John's, 2 from St. Luke's, 2 from St. Stephen's, 2 from St. Peter's. All right, so chairs are available. 2.
So, how are you? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, uh-huh.
What age are they?
12 and 9. She's gonna be 10 on the weekend. Actually, yes. Sister is
Win, lose,
12.
or draw,
She goes
you will get to go and
sophomore.
eat first, so let's go.
At, at PMA? Yeah, so she know Isabel. Yeah. She behaves well at school.
All
Isabel,
right, so
yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
come and sit in your
But
twos.
She very,
You're going
she
to
very,
come and sit in your
what?
twos.
Right. Uh-huh. Right, yeah.
Daniel Brown. She's recent
Mhm.
working on what? The building on Old Farm Road.
Okay.
She's having some
Oh,
sessions with
right,
with
yeah.
that doctor.
Yeah,
She's
good.
going to the school, listen to the children and them sing to her and ask this question. Now they need somebody like that to go to school here and then go and connect with the children and so on. But she is coming on. It's a very good.
That's good.
But when
That's
it
good.
comes to academic, then I'm going to keep her down. But
That's good.
sometimes social behavior. How are you working with her?
Yeah, everything will work out, man.
Yes, that's it.
Okay,
St.
then.
John's
Good to see you.
and St. George's.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, my iPad, yeah. Thank you.
Let's go, people. The longer we stay to go outside. Thank you very much.
That was very well.
Oh, good. Thanks for your help.
Definitely.
Take this off from me, please.
When I get that.
I need to borrow some pens because remember this is an impromptu activity. So if you have a pen that we could borrow, thank you very much.
If you recognize the
Megan. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so the participants, you're now going to turn to face that screen. So turn your chairs to face that screen. So the questions are going to come up on the monitor. And we turn your back to the crowd so that they can mouth the answers to you. So you will read it from the screen. Megan will read the questions. And then Rick will give the answers. Now I need one person from each parish to be the checker. That will come and stand behind that from All Saints. Who will get All Saints? Come, Raina. You go and stand behind the first two ladies over there. you send me somebody? St. Luke, can you send me somebody? You coming to be a checker for me, miss?
This is it. Okay. Can you get a pen? I'm going to ask you for a pen. Tell me the extra pen.
All right, so what the checker will do, the checker will indicate as to whether the answer written is correct. All right, so they're going to ask the question, you're going to write the answer on your paper, the checker will check to see if you have the correct answer, and then you will get the point. We move on. There are 15 questions in the competition. Everybody have a pen?
We talking to Michael when we have the answer? We talking to Michael when we have the answer? I always have the right answer. I always have the right answer. Okay, I want to see. My leg's shaking.
Test, test, test. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody inside? You can't see? You can't see the end of the question. Test, 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 test. Okay. All right. Good night. Vinci, anybody inside? I can't hear. No, I can't hear. Good night. Let me see if anybody. Good night. I hear something, but I can't tell where the noise is coming from. Good night. No, maybe it's outside. Good night. Oh, you're behind. Oh, you're here. Thank you. Good night. Okay, so do we need to go through the rundown as to what we're doing here? Do we have an idea? But I'll still have to explain it, right? Yeah, me as well. So, what we're going to be doing, I'm going to announce the question and the challenges for you to provide the answer. Correct, Vinci? And then Megan will be recording, and Auntie Vinci will also be monitoring the responses and how we progress. Yeah? So we ready? I'm not going to proceed until they say yes. You ready? Okay, so we can just start it over here. You ready? We ready? Okay, good. Perfect. So, first question. It's been on the screen for a while. What is the first book in the Bible? Yeah, they're supposed to be writing, right, Vinci? What's question one? Oh, that's the first one? Oh, sorry. The Bible is the most popular book ever written. Now, that seems to be a statement. So, you need to decipher if that statement is. Put your answers in. The Bible is the most popular book ever written by copies sold. You guys locked in? Everybody locked in? Locked in? Locked in? All right. We ready to move on to the next? I have to do the answer right after. I didn't hear that. Okay, no problem. So, my good sir, move your hand. What was your answer? True? Okay, so this team is true. Okay, no problem. So if we have true, hands up. True, hands up. There you go. So Megan, we're gonna go to the parishes. Which parish? St. Luke, St. George's, St. Stephen's, St. Peter's, All Saints, obviously. And obviously, the answer is true. So if you did not have true, you had false, which means you are incorrect. Take it as a learning experience. Okay, so that was a dry run. I'm kidding, that counted. Next question. What is the first book in the Bible? Please ensure you have your answers in. You seem to have done so already. Okay, no changes now. Yeah? Good. Okay. So Vinci, this is the open. If you did not have Genesis, let me see your hand. Did not. You had Genesis? You had Genesis? No? Yeah? Okay. So everybody got that point, yeah? Alright, next question. What is the last book in the Bible? Lock in your answers, lock in your answers. Lock in your answers. Let me know when you're ready. We good? We good? If your answer was not Revelation, let me see your hand. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. And you didn't just write that in? Okay. So let me see. Revelation. Okay, so we all good? Alright. We're going to go right along. What 4 books tell about Jesus, his life on earth? What 4 books tells us about Jesus' life on earth? Right. Okay. We ready? Yeah. Just for the fun of it, name the 4. John, Peter, Psalms, and Luke. Psalms and Luke. Okay. What's the 4?
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. What's the 4? Okay. You had Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John too? What you had? You too? So those of you with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, hands up. Okay. So that's a point for you. For the others, it's a learning experience. Next question. Which book did Jesus directly write? Which book did Jesus directly write? You remember the one that he wrote, right? Right. So which book did Jesus directly write? Make sure you write it properly because they can't change it after. You understand? You're not ready? You're ready? You're going to be ready? I'll let you. Okay. Just write the one that he directly writes. So let me see the hands up of the groups that are ready. If you're ready, let me see your hands up. So that no one is ready. Time. Okay, so you definitely have to be ready now.
Okay.
So, which one did Jesus write? Luke. Which one? Pluto. That's what he said? Which one? Oh, Mark. Proverbs.
Oh no.
You didn't get to write in anything? So you're just gonna leave it blank? As in like none? Okay. What about you? Which one did Jesus write? Mark? What about you? Matthew? And the winner is none. Do you understand why I needed you to reconfirm that you are not answering? But technically, it's a gray area, so they have to get the point. So they can't get the point. Well, and I don't know, say insurance thief. And I don't know, say insurance thief. Alright. So apparently, you're not getting the answer, but I would have given you the answer, right? Yes. Yes. Anyway, that's unfortunate that no one got that one. He did not write any. Next question. What is the longest book in the Bible? Do not shout out the answer, sirs. What is the longest book in the Bible? You done already? Nice. Huh? What's that? Okay. You hope you finish writing, you know. How are we looking on the time, Vinci? How are we looking on time? Megan, we good with time? You don't know, right? I don't know. But we'll let them go. Let me see the hands of you who are ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of the 6. 5, 6. Okay, great. So, we're good to go. The longest book in the Bible. Give me your answer. Give me your answer. Psalms. You? Psalms. Everybody sure? Because it is Psalms. Alright? This is another true or false situation. David wrote the entire book of Psalms. David wrote the entire book of Psalms. So, lock in your answer now. I was about to ask if he's rebooting or something. David wrote the entire book of Psalms. True or false? Okay, Vinci, that's time. She's engaged. Time. You finished? Better be time. Okay, so we ready for the answer? Let me see those of you who said true. Hands up. For those who said true. And for those of you who said false, let me see your hands. You doing what? So is it true or false? Which one are you? True? Okay, so everybody here is, and you guys are true, and everybody here is. Who is the winner? Unfortunately, you did not get this one. The answer is false. Okay, enough suspense. Quiet. This one is really easy. What is the shortest book in the Bible? What is the shortest book in the Bible? Shortest book in the Bible. And no Googling. That's a phone? Okay. Okay, that's a nice wallpaper, by the way. Huh? The shortest book in the Bible. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 2. Cause what comes after that? Do we have time?
No, yes, finish. Time up.
Time. Time. There you go. I'm about to reveal the shortest book in the Bible. For $2 million, what's your answer? What's that? Job? What's your answer? John? What's your answer? For $2 million, what's your answer? John?
Yeah.
What's your answer? Okay, coming back. What's your answer? John? You? Jacob? Okay. You sure? We're picking something?
No, they don't get. Hello, their time up.
Don't come back. The answer is for $2 million. 3rd John. 3rd John.
It don't matter. It don't matter. We forgot to send it to him.
3rd John. So no one had 3rd John.
It's still a point. I think it's
You had John.
No, I think it should still be a point.
So next one. Yep. Next one. Okay, easy. How many books are in the Bible?
Okay.
How many books are there in the Bible? How many books are there in the Bible? How? Do not answer. Do not anybody. Let me, guys. Let me see.
In the Old Testament and New Testament.
No whispering.
Yeah, no.
No whispering. That's a very obedient boy. He didn't talk. So please do not help our friends at the front. They should know this. It's an easy one. Time. How many books are in the Bible? 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Woo! Time up.
Okay. Are we ready now? Your answer. 66. Your answer. 66. Your answer. Your answer. I'm really getting tired of this silence, you know. What is the answer? What is your answer? Huh? 50? So, for those of you who had 66, you are correct. Next one. How many books are there in the Old Testament? How many books are there in the Old Testament? Time starts now. How many books are there in the Old Testament? You don't trust that now? Okay. I don't trust that. How many books are there in the Old Testament?
Break time.
All right, so we ready for the answer? How many books are in the Old Testament? Those of you who had 39, let me see your hands up. Let me see if you had 39. You have to prove it to me. 39? Okay? That's right. That is correct. If you did not have 39, it is incorrect. The opposite to that question. How many books are there in the New Testament? You have 20 seconds to answer that. How many books are there in the New Testament?
So
28, 29, 30. Time. Are we ready? How many? 27. 27? 25? You? 27. The answer is 27. All right, quickly. The Bible was first written in the English language. True or false? The Bible was first written in the English language. True or false? False. It's really easy. True or false?
Is it though? Okay, we finished.
You have it?
Yeah.
So we ready?
Yeah.
Let me see the hands of you who had true. Let me see the hands who had true. Everyone had false. Is this true? That was a trick question. So the answer is false. It was not written in English. All right. I think Archdeacon was giving me the signal to cut, so we're going to now make our way outside. But let me hold 1 second. Nobody move. Okay, so while we allow Megan to tally and we can know the results. All right. Okay, so the results are in. Drum roll, please. Yes, drummer, you gotta be quick with it, man. Great. We have with 7 points St. Stephen's. St. Stephen's, let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. That's my people. And then with 9 points we have St. Luke's. St. Luke's, let me see your hand. Oh, right there. St. John's had 8 points. All Saints had 8 points. St. Peter's has 8 points. And St. George's, guess how many points? 10. So, which means St. George's is the winner. However, because we have to go outside, I don't like tiebreakers. So between the three that have 8 points, just quickly, St. John's, St. Peter's, and All Saints, I'm going to ask you this question. Which human author wrote the most? No, it's okay. This is just for the fun of it. We're not trying to compete at everything here. Just those three. Which human author wrote the most books? No options. You have 10 seconds to give me a name. Which human author wrote the most books in the Bible? Huh? If Adam, huh? All Saints, St. Peter's, and All Saints, St. Peter's, St. John's, yeah. Huh? What's happening? No, no Googling, no Googling. Quickly, you have to go outside right now. 4, 3, 2, 1. St. John's. Solomon. St. Peter's. Peter. All Saints. Unfortunately, that didn't help. It was Paul. Let's go outside. So, in an orderly fashion. All right, you are free to go. You've been in a lovely audience. Thank you for coming.
Go and play some music.